Get ready, friends. Lee Newton is about to be unleashed.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Lee Newton joins us. What a pleasure, Lee.
It's a pleasure being here.
We have passed around town.
Yes.
Because you're always in Nashville, even though you don't live here?
No, I don't live here. I live in North Carolina. I was born and raised in North Carolina, but I come to Nashville a lot, back and forth. I have, a lot of friends here and a lot that I consider family, like, the bonus mom downstairs. But
sure.
Yeah, most definitely, I love being here.
And when did you make your first trip to Nashville?
My very first trip to Nashville was back probably 20 years ago. And I came after going and singing with 3 original members of Skynyrd in New York. And then they all come to Nashville with other members from different Southern rock groups. So we had Jimmy Hall, Robert Nix, and they had did a cover band, the best cover band you can think of. I mean, it had everybody, sure. Dean Daughtry, everybody, and they had Deep South. And so they had come here to do a show at a place called the Warehouse. And so I had came with them and went out to eat with them, but that was the first time I got to see the Ryman. That night, it was late at night, and they took me down and I got to see the outside of the Ryman, and I was just, oh man, this is so awesome.
You were hooked.
I was hooked. I mean, I was hooked from a little girl when I was watching Coal Miner's Daughter, and I actually got to go into the Ryman for the first time last week, with Stevencurtischapman and go backstage.
Really?
And hang around. Yeah, so that was the first time I'd ever got to go in there. And so it was like a full circle moment, growing up with my little hairbrush on the coffee table,
I know you loved Loretta, and you mentioned
Yes.
Coal Miner's Daughter,
Yes.
and you have a children's book called The Cab Driver's
Yep.
Daughter. Have you ever thought about doing I'm proud to be a cab
driver's daughter? Yes,
How
I sure
about-
have.
We're going to talk about the children's
Yeah.
book and the other books.
Yes.
Now, you've got so many talents. Do you see yourself more as an artist, a singer, or a writer?
I love to write. I love writing. Most of my songs is songs that that I've written, and I backed away because I kind of got like a little writer's block, I guess, from songwriting, and so that's when I started pouring my heart out into the books. And so for a year and a half, I just wrote and wrote and wrote, and that's what I poured my heart into with the books. But I love to sing, I love to perform, and I love the business side of it. I love all aspects of it. I just, I knew from very early, this is everything I ever wanted to do.
It's entertainment and many
Yeah.
facets to it, and you
Yeah.
were very many faceted.
Yeah. And I love to paint as well.
Really?
So, I'm no William Lee Golden. I wish I was, or Ronnie McDowell, but
Sure.
I love to paint. I think that goes with a lot of people that sing and are artistic. They love to do different stuff like that.
Well, I helped Ronnie write his autobiography. I helped William Lee write his, and his new one as well. How many books have you done?
I have done, I did 4 children's books, which they're all,
Wow.
they're all stories from my childhood growing up. This is the very first one, The Cab Driver's Daughter.
Wow.
Then I have Blue Christmas, which is a Christmas book, and then Fearless Brendalee and Brendalee Learns Honesty, because I'm named after Brendalee.
I knew you were. Have you ever met the real Brenda Lee?
I was just talking to a lady earlier. You might know Miss Ruth Elkins.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
sure.
I was talking. She called me. She was wanting to be here today, but she was like, "Have you got to meet her yet?" And I'm like, I said I actually got to talk to her on the phone, because I got to tell her the story of when I was a little girl. My daddy is the one that taught me how to play the guitar, and so. One day when he was at work, I opened up his guitar case, and inside of it I wrote Brendalee #2. And
wow.
I mean, I thought, he was going to get mad at me, but he never did. And so, of course, when I grew up, I started going by Lee because there's only one Brenda Lee, And so, but to get to talk to her over the phone and tell her that story, and she was just everything and more of what I thought she was. She was so sweet.
Well, I'm sure she would love to read your Brenda Lee books.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would.
We have I have a lot of viewers who are Oakridgeboys fans, and you did a very special thing with Joe Bonsall.
I did. Something I will cherish till I leave this earth.
And is that on one of your albums?
It is. It's on my gospel album, which is called Crossroads. I was honored to get to do got to do a lot of songs with like T. Graham Brown, Rhonda Vincent, Deborah Allen, but the one that was really special the most to me was the one I did with Joe Bonsall. Yeah.
A lot of times these days with technology, you can do a duet with somebody or sing harmony with somebody and never meet them.
Yeah.
You know, they do it on their own, they ship it to you, and that happens a lot. But Joe came in the studio with you. Not only were you there in person, he was so excited about it.
Yeah.
He put a Facebook video that I've saved on the way there, talking about singing with you.
He did, and he had sent me tons of texts before it, like how excited he was, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm the one that is excited, you know. But he was on his way there. He was done a video and posted it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Hi everybody, Joe Bonsall of the Oakridgeboys right here, and today I'm very, very proud and honored to be a part of Lee Newton's upcoming gospel project. It is just fabulous. She has so many guest artists on there and so many great songs that you're going to love, and I am proud to be a part of it.
When he got there, my husband and son was there, and he just took the time to get pictures with Cash, and Cash loves Joe. I mean, he'll talk about Joe all day long because that made such a lasting impact on him and stuff. But yeah.
So what was it like to go in the studio with him?
Well, for one, it was just the most greatest moment that I'll always remember, because we sat there and he never one time ever treated me like I was this little Canton girl, cab driver daughter from North Carolina, and never, you know, he treated me just as an equal, and he was like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to arrange it this way, we want you to shine on it, and just, I mean, that's how Joe was, you know. And at the very end, I was like, you know, well, how much do I owe you, Joe? And he looked at me and said, you don't owe me anything, and he just gave me the biggest hug, and I mean, that was God right there. I mean, and it was amazing. It was really amazing.
Oh, that was a great gift to you.
Yeah, and he told me, now I don't know, but this is what he said. He said nobody had ever asked him to do a duet without the Oaks. Not that I wouldn't have wanted the Oaks too, but just there was just something about that song I wanted it to be him on there. But he said that he was, I don't know if I'm the only one that's ever done a single duet with him, but that's the way it kind of come across. So I don't know, it might be something to look into, but it's most definitely a sweet gift.
Special one, and they can find that again how?
It's on Crossroads album. It's on Spotify, YouTube, all musical platforms.
All right, let's talk about your other books. Now I've got Lee Newton's Carolina Kitchen.
Yes, I am a Southern cooker, and this is really cool because it ties into my music and my family, and you know, that's food, music, family. It all kind of comes in together. And there's a couple of I've lost my mom and my dad both, and there's 2 pages in there with different recipes from my mom and dad. Biscuits for Daddy, and then my mom's $1 million pie. But they're very special little quotes in there and little stories. And
now, before we talk about your other books, you mentioned Cash. Now tell me your kids' names.
Okay, I have a daughter her name is Madison, and then my son is Tristan, older son, and then I have little Cash, and he was named after Johnny Cash.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you have 3 children. How old?
I do, 27, 25, and 9.
Wow.
And they keep me on my toes, that's for sure.
They've been keeping you on your toes for a couple decades.
They have, but they've been so great. And my older kids, they remember me going out with the members of Skynyrd, and they knew that I've always done music and stuff, and then to see them see me keep doing it and living out my dream and still chasing, they just tell me how proud they are of me. So
you're very similar in that aspect with Lorettalynn, who, she was trying to make it. She had her kids, and Tammy Wynette, Tammy Wynette the same. And speaking of Tammy, you got to sing with her daughter Georgette.
Yes. I sure did.
Tell me about that project.
That project is very meaningful too. So I've always grew up, like I said, listening to Tammy and Dolly and Loretta, and I've always wanted to do that song. I love that song. And so I was like, okay, it's time. And then I started thinking, okay, who am I going to get to sing with me on it? And of course, Georgette was the very first one that entered my mind. And so I didn't know her. I knew of her, and I was a very big fan of hers, you know. But I went to Nashville like 2 weeks after that. And I'd already told my husband, I'm like, I really want to do this song with Georgette, I know. 2 weeks later, I get to Nashville to do an interview, and lo and behold, who walks out of she just got through getting interviewed, was Georgette.
Wow.
So it was like a God wink. I'm
Sure.
like, oh my gosh, okay, well, hey, Georgette. You know, we instantly connected, and she gave me her phone number, and then of course we ended up bringing Heidi Parton, which is Dolly Parton's niece, on there, and it just turned out to be so special. And then of course getting to release it 70 years anniversary of Wanda Jackson. I mean, how cool is that, you know? So
you've gotten to do some neat things. You did the Working Girl Blues
Yes.
with one of our favorites who a lot of people tuned in for our YouTube interview with Leonawilliams, and they're still watching it today.
Lovely.
Leona was with you on that, and
yes,
Pam Tillis as well?
Pam Tillis, yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, so that was another one. You know, of course, I love Merle. Who doesn't love Merle? And I wanted to do Working Girl Blues because I had heard Leona do it, and I'm just a huge fan of Leona's. I mean, I love her voice. She gives me goosies every time I listen to her. And so I reached out to her. I'm like, Leona, I want to record Working Girl Blues. Will you be on this album or this song with me? And she wrote me back, and she's like, well, of course, Lee. You know, so, but when I got in the studio, my producer reached out to Pam Tillis and sent him a copy of, you know, Working Girl Blues, and Pam instantly, you know, wrote back, I'm on, you know, I'm in. And so she came down to the studio and, you know, recorded, and we did our harmonies with each other, which was so surreal because I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that Pam Tillis is doing harmony with me and I'm singing harmony with her.
Wow.
And I mean, it was just awesome, you know. And then of course we had Leroy Parnell. He played the slide on it.
Did he really?
He did.
Wow.
And Eugene Moles, who played with
Oh,
Merle,
yeah, no,
added
Eugene.
the Bakersfield sound to it. I mean,
Wow.
it was really, it was a great project.
You've opened for the Oaks, you opened for Randy Travis. What's been the highlight so far in your career?
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, there's a lot. But the highlight for me was getting to close out the JMA Awards. I had just won Artist of the Year for Traditional Country, and I got to sing the song that I wrote called Carolina, which is a tribute to my mom and dad and being from Carolina. And the lasting words of that song, it says, tonight I'm on this opry stage, I can almost see my daddy's face, proud of his girl from Carolina. And it's like I didn't get to sing for the Opry show, but I got to be on that Opry stage, and they put my daddy's cab driver's hat on a mic stand next to me in the circle, and I got to sing that song. And so it was kind of like, okay, Daddy, I kept dreaming like you wanted me to, and I'm here. You know, I got to do the song for him. So
Wow.
that was probably the biggest highlight of my career.
Tell me about this book.
This book right here is very special. Strength of a Woman, Heart of a Man. About 6 years ago, I went through a divorce, a domestic violence marriage, where I had to literally run with my youngest son. Basically, I didn't know where I was even going to lay my head that night, but God sent angels around me and just kind of made a way for everything to happen. And at the time when I thought my whole world was being took away from me, it was just him rebuilding everything. And that's where I started writing all my songs. It was in this little 400 square foot little home that I ended up getting for me and my son. Didn't even have a kitchen drawer, had one little bedroom I gave to him. And so this story tells how Strength of a Woman song came about, what I went through, and my journey leading up to my husband now, and me telling his story from my side, and how God put us both together. And because, you know, it's just a beautiful love story and a testament of, you know, just putting your faith out there and letting God lead the way.
In addition to your books, what's the latest CD, the newest one?
The newest CD will be coming out April 25th. It's called Beautifully Undone. So it is a compilation of all the songs that I have handpicked from the previous albums that I wanted to take and strip them down to like the minimum of my voice and the intimacy of how it was when I first wrote them. And I'm just so proud of it. Every song that I'm doing on it, it just turned out so beautiful. I can't wait for everybody to hear it.
These days you have to be involved in social media. At least it helps a lot. And
Yes.
I'm trying my best to get into it, but I'm an old dog.
Oh, no,
I'm
you're
trying.
not.
But you're all over social media.
I
You're
am.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're always busy.
Yeah.
Now, one of the latest things I saw on social media, I don't know if you're going to be a NASCAR driver, maybe. You might be. What's up with that? I saw you at the
Yeah.
Daytona Speedway.
Yes, I just got back from Daytona, and oh my gosh, the thrill of a lifetime. I got to get the 5 laps, actually, 5 laps at 175 miles
Really?
an hour in a race car.
I was joking, but you're really doing it.
I have joined the 170-mile club with William Lee Golden. So-
Wow.
but yeah, I mean, so it's really awesome. They actually took me like 2 feet away from the wall. It was like 30 or 3 stories. Not, it felt like 30 stories, but 3 stories high. And I was a trooper. I thought that I was going to end up like screaming and being like a little baby, but I was like, first I was like scared and then kept on just going. But it was really cool because it was an amazing experience. And Jim Clash is the one that took me for the ride, and he is also the one that did the interview with me afterwards with Forbes magazine. So I get a feature in Forbes
Really?
magazine. Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Congratulations.
So I know my dad is just smiling down from ear to ear right now.
Well, I hope that Forbes ends up money.
Oh, that'd be great. Hey, we'll speak it into existence.
Absolutely. Well, you're 175. You're used to going Bradley Parkway and all that
Well,
in Nashville. So
I'll tell
just a little bit.
you what I do. I get to Percy Priest Dam, and I always get off there before getting into Nashville, and then it's back roads the whole way. I'm from Carolina. I like going down the back roads with the wind blowing through my hair and looking out the window.
How can all of your fans, everybody watching, find you?
Yeah, if you go to leonawilliams.com, and I'm all over Facebook, TikTok, all social media, Instagram.
Always doing something fun.
I am, because you live your life to the fullest. Every day is an adventure.
Lee Newton, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
your
Scott.
time, Lee.
Thank you.
I'm glad we quit passing each other
Yeah.
in the night and in the day.
Into the day.
And glad we finally got together to sit
Yeah.
down and visit.
I'm very glad. Thank you so much, Scott.
Everybody check her out, get her books,
Yeah.
get her CD, and you'll find lots to entertain yourself. Lee Newton, the cab driver's daughter, making it big in Music City.